Alright, hello everybody, welcome to the stream here tonight. We have a couple North American matches up for you tonight. Granted, will just be one at a time. A little bit of time between these two ones. First going to be starting out here with Nitro versus Nay Plus Ultra. Of course, as you might be able to see here, not a lot of people in this lobby at the moment. Looks like for Nay Plus, they were looking for some last-minute substitutes over on the Discord, so they're trying to settle that out now. Which is to say, by the bye, if anyone is out there. Granted, this is the last week of the regular season, but there's a league substitutes role you can sign up for on the VR Master League website, and it will actually give you a role on the Discord that can be pinged should teams need some subs. As you might also be noting here, Nitro, their logo, going back and forth a little bit here. Not only that, but even in the name changes. I'm actually hearing some of the players in the open comms discussing it right now in my ear. So they were Nitro. Well, they were 6 foot under, or 6 foot over rather. Changed their name to Nitro, then changed their name to Inertia, and then back to Nitro. So I have no idea what's going on, but right now they're Nitro again. So we're gonna settle with that and their temporary logo here that they're working with. So seeing these teams starting to file in, and still curious on who the substitute will be tonight for Nay Plus. We'll see. But hello to everyone in the stream nonetheless. See links in there as well as BYX Gaming, Not Lucario, Mr. Nate Bro, and a jar of salt, as well as Danimal. So for Nay Plus Ultra, we actually just saw them yesterday in a match. They faced off against Deception yesterday evening and won that one in 2 rounds, in an overtime actually in the second round, but it was ultimately a 2-round sweep for Nay Plus Ultra. This is the debut week for Sir Dimwee. And separate note, apparently they don't need to sub after all because look at this. We got 4 out of 4 Nate Plus Ultra players all up in there now. So no sub necessary after all. Fine by me. And I'm sure very fine by Nate Plus Ultra. So just informing the teams that they can begin as they please. So for Nitro here, the last time we saw them was on Sunday. Faced off against Genesis, dropped that game, unfortunately for them. Before that, though, they actually had a win versus There Is No Team on Friday. Narrowly winning that series in 3 rounds. All right, so with that said, oh boy, a crash out apparently, either that or someone accidentally joined spectators. I can only assume we're about to get a restart since things haven't actually started yet. Then again, maybe not. Oh, that's confusing. Okay, there we go. Rematch was just hit. All right, so no harm done as we wait to get Citizen back in the match. Not sure what happened there, but that's all right. Better now than after the match has actually started, so no harm done on that one. But yes, over on the last game we saw from Nate Plus yesterday against Deception, it was a super nice effort there from, I mean, multiple players, but Sir Dimwee, I mentioned him in his debut here. Of course, one of our fellow casters in VR Master League. But he had a lot of saves against Deception and was just doing a fantastic job, and he actually did get the game winner. Had 5 points total across those 2 rounds, but of course 2 of those points, some of the most vital ones at the very end of the match in overtime. So over back to the chat here. See, the boy Kenny cheering on Joe. So, I missed out on most of that memeing the other day because I was casting on VRML Channel 1, which is to say this one. Meanwhile, on Channel 2, as the night was coming to a close, there was some weirdness in the air over there on Channel 2 regarding some Joe Schmo. I couldn't follow all of it. All I know is that every week or two, the Twitch chat here on these games, once every couple weeks, gets a little bit crazy. I don't understand it, but I mostly welcome it, as long as it's not too upsetting what's being said. So I don't know. You guys are weird, but glad to have you here nonetheless, in all your weirdness and all your glory. But here we go. Round finally about to start for real this time, I do believe, as Citizen is back in the game. Noah Hummus in the chat asking about the 4v4. And yeah, chat already answering you a bit, but just for posterity, yes, that is the case, as they go for the first 2 points. Winding in is Vanzi, assisted by the Law. No one there to really contest it, so it's some immediate points 6 seconds into the round. But yes, for posterity, it's a 4v4 as a VR Master League. That was kind of a new thing coming in to the preseason in November, and people liked it. I like it. Everyone kind of loves the pacing and the amount of strategy that it opens up in the meta here in 4v4. But that said, you can have up to 6 members on a team, so you can have alternates on your roster. Right now, it's just going to be alternating on the goals because it's tied up game here. Zuck's just walking it in, essentially 2v1. There was a defender joining in kind of the last second, but for the most part, just back-to-back walk-ins on either side of the floor. And yes, the public matches are 3v3. However, recently Ready at Dawn had tested out some 4v4 pubs, and maybe changing it to 4v4 depending. There was feedback taken right there, the shot, no feedback on it, just misses everything except the backboard. But they will get the disc here for Nitro now as they look for a clear. But yeah, so it may or may not be changing to 4v4. They did test it recently for Rads, so based on the feedback, they might adjust it after all. And on a personal note, I'm hoping for it. I think it's much more fun, even in pub situations, having 4v4. Over here, Citizen taking a shot. Defense lurking nearby, but still squeezed it through at 16 meters per second. And that's 4 points now for Nate Plus.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
But yeah, just nothing else. I think 4v4 does open up the the meta, even in a pub setting. It gives you more actions per minute, so you can always be contributing in some way. Whereas with 3v3, it's easy to kind of get lost sometimes a little bit and not have much to do, or you have the that shot gonna go kind of close there, but recovered by Dimwee. But it gives you more to do at any given moment. There's more people to re-grab off of, more people to brawl with. So even if you don't have the disc, it lets you do something at any given moment. Right now, it's Nitro trying to do something, trying to tie it up at that, with a pass right down beneath, but a stun and a steal from Dimwee. So a little bit of everything there on the defensive platter for Sir Dimwee. Mentioned him in his hot match the other night, yesterday in fact, as a stun comes through, contributing with a lot of great saves just over and over. And right now playing the back line is Brennan Cecil. So Brennan takes a disc. He's a longtime player ever since 2017. Once upon a time, was even discussing playing with him back in the old days there with ESL and whatnot on a potential team. But was not meant to be. That shot, however, also not meant to be. Rebound may be a different story if they can go into the pocket here and collect it, but all the defense trying to retreat for Nitro. You can see two of them now going into the bubble. The cross meeting eventually the hands of Dimwee, so Dimwee's going to back this one out. Coming off of that Nova team, well known for their teamwork right here. Na Plus Ultra is a team well known for their striking ability as well as some of that teamwork. So I think Dimwee joining the roster is going to be something that buys them a lot of good opportunity. Just mixing up some of the powerful striking with some defensive play. Right there, a offensive play won't be a hit into the goal, but a rebound on the other side, perhaps with some stuns, will be taken back there by Citrus. Citrus is going to make a deep fling into the back line, or into the blue goal, and the defense there, they're going to close it off, and actually some overshoots, but still playing the positions, and it shouldn't be too much of a problem for them, as all of the Nitro players kind of stuck in the midline, giving some time here for Na Plus Ultra to gather their thoughts and just gather the disc, if nothing else. Now Zux will take the disc with 5:40 left, a deep shot, and that one raining true. We saw a few very narrow misses from both sides of the floor for that 2 minutes and 26 seconds of playtime. But finally, that one just squeezes right through. A beautiful shot. And it's going to be 7-2 leading here for Na Plus Ultra. 5:20 still to go. Alikos, I see some actually arguments here. Alikos saying 4v4 is good for the experience, but pain for newbies, and some debates coming through on that one. Valid sides of both points. Although, I don't know. I think 4v4, and again, I'm just kind of grazing over chat, so this might have been already said. I think with 4v4, though, it's a lot more... The individual contribution matters less. With 3v3, you tend to have these times where just having one exceptional player on a team could severely... Ooh, nice shot from the law right there. But having one player on a 3v3 situation can kind of imbalance things fairly hard, I feel like, where they can just have basically every opportunity they want into the goal uncontested. With 4v4, having that extra person potentially on defense and in the bubble, it's a lot harder to maneuver around offensively. So I feel like the individual contribution, even in pub settings, is a lot less pronounced in 4v4 pubs. But that's just my opinion. Lots of arguments going either way, and I can certainly see the points going both ways. And again, too, with 3v3, I mean, one person gets stuck in the back. They literally have no one to get stacks with at that point. They're stranded and taken out of the entire play, which is also pretty punishing compared to 4v4, where it can always be grabbing people and getting some opportunities. All right, here, a good defensive opportunity taken out there by the Law. He'll get the grab. He'll get the bowling ball clear down the ramp. Off to the midline it goes, taken by Zux now. Him and Brennan connecting on the stacks. Speed playing a good part of their game, and that was the case yesterday against Deception for Na Plus Ultra. They were very quick on that approach, but even quicker on that one is a Law for Nitro, and Nitro brings it back to a tied game. 7 apiece, still 3.5 remaining on this one. So bringing it right back. Looked like Na Plus Ultra was in a position to pull ahead there, getting a few goals advantage, and yet here we are all tied up. So right back into it. And one of those other parts that's nice about this VR Master League format, going to 10-minute rounds. Really enables teams to have a lot more opportunities at tying up and making their scoring runs just like this, back and forth. Citizen, assisted by Glock. Sorry, I was thinking Citizen Glock. By Zux. To clarify, Citizen is not Citizen Glock. Citizen Glock was a player, but he's now named Lasagna, I do believe. So, getting my different names tangled up here. But over there, it's a 9-7 now, favoring Na Plus Ultra. But we'll see if Citrus and Co can come through with a rebuttal. They've had a nice late game scoring run here, the final half of the round, to bring it back to that tie. But see if they can get something going on the offense. Sir Dimwee just going to be there in the goal for Na Plus Ultra, though, with any potential back passes. And actually, they opt for a deep clear instead. But maybe we'll pay for it, in fact. So Fanzi gets the score. It's a tie indeed. So a little miscommunication there, perhaps opting for maybe a clear or a long pass. There was one Na Plus Ultra player deep on the other side of the floor. But the problem was there were 2 or 3 defenders for Nitro to intercept that one. So little risky play, and unfortunately for Na Plus Ultra, they gave up the 2 points as a result by the end of it. Now Brennan Cecil going for a pass to the other side. Good positioning there, and just good lines of sights being given to their passing. The moment will be Sir Dimwee, and he gets a shot, getting it past the goalie. And again, it's just a trading of goals here between these two teams now in the last several minutes. 11-9, 1:30 left, favoring Na Plus Ultra in this first round. Oh boy. So much going on in chat that I can't keep up, not to mention all the Joe Schmo spam. Spam? Joe Schmo spam. Yeah, see? As Citizen Glock takes it away. Not Glock, not Citizen Glock, with the disc. I really got to stop that. But Brennan Cecil will take it up on his own. Stunned by Citrus. Citrus providing the good goalkeeping as she often does. And that was a nice move. But looks like a Na Plus Ultra will get the disc right back. So no harm done. And that's kind of the rough part, because defense and goaltending can be difficult. So when you get a nice play, you really want to capitalize on it and get some offense going on the other side. But when you give teams like this multiple attempts, they're going to convert and make you hurt. But right now, it's Na Plus Ultra just trying to skirt around this lead and maybe build up here with one more shot. It sucks. Taking it from 5 meters out, potentially risky attempt given the goalkeeping we've seen. But they'll get the points. And with only 28 seconds remaining and counting, Na Plus Ultra looking to secure this first round after all. So Citrus over here to the Law getting that clear. Just not going to be any time, unfortunately, to take this round. So a turnover there to Citrus. Citrus going to the Law. 5 seconds left. They have some cutters on either ends. Joe Schmo, but no go. It's 13-9 in the end of round 1. Peter Griffin wasn't what I was going for there exactly, but yeah, sure. Close enough, I guess. All right, so we'll head off to the highlight screen for you, show you what we've got. Match replays and the stats, of course. And yes, for Na Plus Ultra was Citizen with 4 points, Zux with 7, Sir Dimwee with 2, so some even distribution. Brennan Cecil not getting points, but he got a pair of assists, helping his team along there. Over for Nitro, the Law contributing 5 points, Fanzi with 4, and 1 assist apiece for Law, Citrus, and Joe Schmo. In terms of the team stats, those percentages there was about an extra minute of possession time for Na Plus Ultra. They have 3:31 on the clock there, so 57% compared to the 2 minutes and 38 seconds of possession for Nitro. Also, 4 extra shot attempts being taken from Na Plus Ultra, 9-5. But moving on, second round, and Nitro starting or wanting to stay alive with a good joust here. See how it goes. So off of the bottom, oh boy, it's almost going to roll in. That's a second near goal on these back-to-back jousts from rounds 1 and 2 Opening it up, though, Joe Schmo looking for a pass and getting it through, but Sir Dimwee, the absolute stuffage right inside there. Congested in that goal, and he comes away with it, but Joe Schmo gets it right back. So finding the nice pass to Vanzi. Vanzi tapping off 1 Geo, 2 Geos, 3, but no goal, dinging off the post, and not the tap off they were looking for, trying to score. Up high here will be Citizen, looking to get that one out, but Vanzi taking it through and maybe holding on to it a little too long, but still maybe going to Nitro's end. Not really looking for passes, so maybe Com's a little bit scrambled. The team's a bit scrambled here as all these pileups form up. Just throwing kind of these random clears into every which direction, but Nay plus Ultra doing a good job at the collection. And another rejection as Zux now gets a clear off of that great grab. Prioritizing just the grab instead of anything else, and worked out well, but there's the speed from Nitro, I guess showing some nitrous. And there's Citrus. Why did I say her name? No particular reason, just happened to rhyme a little bit. But over here will be the Law looking to collect the disc, still scoreless, has a pizza slice of an angle, but backs it out instead to the deep midfield. It's Citrus with the disc, and over to the pack area, side wall. Now over there to the Law, still in the same place, and finding the nice place right into the goal for the first two. Took a minute and a half of play, but we got ourselves a score.
11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
So for these two teams, just noting 40 viewers. Okay, so no doubt the Quest hype coming through. I've been seeing the Discord absolutely popping off as of late, with literal thousands of new members the last few days or so. So no doubt contributing there. Welcome to the stream here in VR Master League as we go for the shot. It's Zux just inside the 3-point line, so it'll be a 2-pointer, 6 meters out, tying it up in round 2. But yeah, glad to see everyone here. For those who might have joined us earlier as well, we had a couple European matches, and yeah, I won't give the whole long form sell, I guess, of league play and all that good stuff. But oh, okay, so you can hear it there. Take a quick look at the scores just for posterity's sake. They're calling for maybe a timeout. I'm not sure if it went before, as that score goes through, if it went before or after the joust. Okay, so from what I'm gathering here, it sounds like, well, I don't know. I'll have to get confirmation in the chat. I'm not going to assume, but it sounds like they were for Nay plus Ultra. They were saying, well, they ready to use their technical timeout back at the beginning of the round or something or other. But
do we not have a regular timeout and then the technical? Has that changed?
If I'm correct, was it not Nay plus Ultra who had a player crash out at the beginning? So wasn't it their tech timeout to begin with anyway? Just for one, because it's right now it's Nitro calling for the tech timeout, and they have not used one to my knowledge. But even if they did, they used it at the beginning of that match before the match had actually officially started. So I wouldn't necessarily consider that a tech timeout, being that it was before the start of the first round. It was about to start, but it hadn't. So, that's a factor. I mean, we'll see what these teams settle on. Looks like they're just gonna figure out amongst themselves. If they message me on Discord, I'll be glad to answer. In the meantime, Twitch chat, if you have anything, especially all you new folk, any kinds of particular questions or anything about League play or Echo Arena in general, I'm your guy. Hit me up. Been involved here in the competitive scene for a few years now. Since the beta, the PC closed beta, actually, back in June 2017. And, back in the day, I had my glory days in competition myself. So, if you want to know some stuff, I can inform. And actually, one moment, because I do have players pinging me in the chat. So, pardon me real quick. Okay, sorry about that. Was just communicating with the teams in the Discord. Sorry. So, anyway, let's see. Going back to it here. Can you sustain in a relationship in Arena? Yes, I've sustained many of relationships. If we're just talking in the general sense, some of my favorite people ever I've met here in Arena, and some that I actually will call family for pretty much the rest of my life. But I assume that's not what you're getting at, just being funny. I'm just being feely. Anyway, moving on to the next one. What do you think the quest will do to the competitive scene, says Lucario, not Lucario. A lot of good things, I'm thinking. Playing the quest version myself over the last month or so in alpha and beta, is it one-to-one with the PC version? I mean, it won't be 100%, but I would say it's well into the 90. Like, it's so impressive. Is it competitively viable? Absolutely, in my opinion. I mean, I've just been shooting around in practice arenas even as recently as an hour ago. It's hard to tell a difference, quite frankly. The thing you'll notice most is like graphical fidelity, obviously between mobile quest and the full-fledged PC, going to be a little different, but it still looks good. The mechanics, it plays well. The tracking is shockingly good. Everything about the quest version, I am just amazed by. So I think what it'll do for the scene, you're going to see it explode. I mentioned it a few times over the last couple of weeks and as have players in chat, but I mean, with the current real-life situation, Echo Arena has a legitimate claim to being one of the few, if not only, physical, sports you can kind of play right now or watch right now with that is kind of similar to the likes of basketball, hockey, football, etc. Everything you do in Echo mechanically is the same as a real-life sport. When you're shooting, you're shooting. When you're punching, you're punching. When you're grabbing and all that stuff, or dancing, or wagging your fists at the opponent because you really hate them, whatever you're doing, it's all physical. There's no canned animations involved here. So that's kind of part of the reason I credit a lot of the early success that I had, for instance, with Echo. And then some of my teammates is because we were treating it like a sport. I had played basketball for so long. And yes, I'm going to that comparison again. You're going to have to deal with it for you veteran viewers. I know I've said it 1,001 times. But Echo Arena replaced basketball in a sense, because I used to go and play at the park, once, twice, 3 times a week sometimes for the better part of 12 years or so. But once Echo came out, suddenly I could put on a headset and get my fill of team play and sports in that kind of sense. It would give me the same satisfaction as going to the park and playing ball. So, and I didn't even have to leave my home, So there's a lot of good things going for it, and it's only amplified by the Quest version, where you're wireless now. You don't have to deal with the setups involved. You can take it to other places. You can take it to your friends' places and show them and introduce them to the game as well. So there's a lot of good things going for Echo. I think it'll explode the population. Okay, continuing to try and wade my way through some of this memeing going on. Kept getting recommendations of matches from when Palidore was playing. Says Senior Loco.
Alright, guys, we're gonna go ahead and do 3 before then. He'll join back when he joins.
I think that's a good thing. Not sure I follow, but let's see. Can we get some more camera time on Joe? Asking a while ago, Noah. Sure, why not? Where's Joe? Well, let's go find Joe Schmo. Here he is in all his glory. Watch him. Watch him as he flaunts his plumage. So graceful is Joe. The humble Joe Schmo. Yes. A Jar of Salt asking, do I view the game in my headset? No, this is a spectator client. Don't have to use a headset at all, actually. I'm using a third-party mod developed by the community. Well, more like a tool, less the mod, but a tool developed by the community called Atlas. It's kind of like a private match browser, and enables me to join directly through this. Now, the spectator mode you're viewing on stream right now itself is just built into the game, plain and simple. You'll notice on the match terminals inside the lobby, there is a spectator button that you can click. Just as well, if you go into a private match, once you spawn, you'll see a little terminal where you can set rules and things like that. There's also a spectator button in there. And if you take off your headset, this window you're looking at right now, this kind of third-person view that appears on your desktop once your headset's removed. So that's how you get there. Anyways, it looks like we have an agreement on the teams, from the teams maybe on this restart and the score and whatnot. Apparently, Nitro not able to get their other player back in, which is highly unfortunate, because I guess they'll just be rolling with the 3v4.
12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
But all right, so just communicating with the players here. Looks like we'll just be going off and underway. Vanzi is, I see in the Discord, trying to get back into the match here.
Orange clears it out of their zone.
Over on the Discord, but having some issues. So unfortunately, they're just going to have to roll 3v4. Typically with the tech timeouts, you're allowed 5 minutes of timeout time until you have to kind of get going, barring any gentleman's agreements. But over here, being down one player, they're still going back for Nitro. And Citizen taking that disc, clearing it through, going for the boost. And will be there first, actually, for Nitro. So, overshooting, however, so never mind. Will be A plus Ultra cross-passing, cut off by Joe Schmo. So there you go for the chat there, cheering on Joe while he's trying to keep his team alive despite being down. Over there on the shot, just missing, had to rush it because of the defense nearby. So Nitro holding on very admirably despite being down a player currently. Now for Sir Dimwee, is going to be on the other side looking to get the disc back, and he does eventually. Gets that clear on through. Will be passed on down. The goal covered by Citrus for Nitro rather, as Nay Plus attempts to swarm the goal here. Just going to go with a shot fake, a pass, and then the goal. It's 4-2 for Nay Plus Ultra in round 2, courtesy of Sir Dimwee.
12, 11, 10.
All right, so a lot of comments and questions coming through. Trying to balance all of you there. So if there's anything super important, also you can highlight with the channel points, and I might be more liable to see it. But otherwise, the only thing going on right now is a lot of Joe Schmo spam. There's a Zux with a shot attempt. Was bounced back into the hands of Brennan almost, but there's Joe Schmo, and he'll go for the tunnel. Unfortunately, cut off by Citizen. Citizen with a pass to Zux, and Zux tucking it into that top corner of the goal. Up by 4 points now, Nay Plus Ultra.
12, 11,
That's right, Fire Gold, Joe Schmo Spam.
7,
That's the only way I shall refer to it from here on out.
3, 2, 1.
But that's okay. This is Joe's world. We're just here to be living in it for the moment. That said, Joe Schmo trying to keep his team alive still. They're down by 4, 5.5 left. And trying to get up here to the Law. The Law taking that disc, trying to evade the defense. Oh, just tapping off of Zux. What a maneuver there. And the shot from Joe Schmo to bring it back within 2 points. My goodness, that move from the Law, though. Just treading dangerous waters with that defender in midair, but actually took a redirected kind of push off of him to deny the disc. And what a huge goal! Despite being down a player, Nitro, I dare say, might have some, at least a little bit of momentum off that. Definitely feeling good off those hot moves. So a kind of miscue on this launch. We'll get the disc back for the Law, and Nitro, that's a deep clear. Will that have a chance at going in? Very close. Well, that would have been shocking and absolutely momentum changing for sure had that gone in. So here the red calls coming out. I brought that up in the European games earlier, by the way, for all you new players. So one of the very handy callouts on any team situation is the red, green, yellow callouts, kind of traffic lights. I'll get back to that thought in a second, though, because right now trying to score maybe is Zux. He's going to dive in for the 2. Kind of inverted himself with the analog sticks there and logged himself a couple points, 8-4. But yes, so the callouts you might notice, most often occurring in closed comms, but a little bit leaking through in open comms there. And yeah, so the way that works is essentially red, as you might imagine, is it means you have no time, get rid of it, essentially. So as one of your teammates is about to get the disc or get a pass, you'll say red, and usually give a position, saying a red bow tie, a red barrier, red goal, meaning you're gonna be covered, so pass it to that area. If you give yellow callouts, that usually means you have a second or two to work with before you have to make a choice. And on this collection, everyone overshooting again. Then the green callouts generally will mean you have several seconds to work with. You don't have to worry. You're going to be good to go. Now, that said, Brennan Cecil here trying to be good to go for the goal, but not good to goal whatsoever. Citizen with the disc and backing it out. And the back pass is always a good thing to employ here in this meta. Just missing that crossover, though. So still holding their own is Nitro. Again, very good job considering the troubles they're dealing with at the moment on the disadvantaged numbers. Now, under 3 minutes left remaining here, and it will be a shot, or a pass rather, over to Sir Dimwee. Sir Dimwee looking for that crossover, but that one will miss the hands, a little bit too much mustard on it. Taken back by Joe. Joe will tap it back out to his teammates here, just sitting around the goal. They're trying to prioritize the passes, and understandably so. But unfortunate turnaround there. There's a lot of strength being applied on that back pass to Citrus, and will miss the catch, and Citizen puts it home as a result. 6-point advantage here for an A+ Ultra. A jar of salt with a highlighted message, but I get the feeling that's not a very pertinent one for me to be reading out right now. But I did notice it, so I guess you won in that regard. Joe continuing to mow around, as right now Zucks just going around for the goal. Good placement on the corner. It's what you got to do against talented goalies like Citrus and like so many of these players here in the game. You know, get it out of their reach anytime. Sometimes it's easy to just go in autopilot when you're driving to the goal and shoot it directly at the center of mass, but with the goalkeeping skills from a lot of these players in competitive play, you don't want to do that when possible, at least not without throwing out some shot fakes first, because people are just way too good at grabbing those. Now a shot just missing for Nitro. They will cause a turnover, actually. So Citrus with some good stuns, finding Joe Schmo on the other end. He's trying to avoid, get it to Citrus. A good cross pass. The Law up and under move. And it's a 6-point game. Time is winding down, but that was still some beautiful team play being had from Nitro here. They are playing tremendously well for being down a player this entire round, just about. I mean, just a great job. So rolling out is Brennan with a disc, going a long ways over on the cross to Citizen, right back over to Zux, and Zux takes that over. It's just a very much outnumbered situation, not going through. However, Citrus was kind of at the mercy of Nay Plus Ultra on that one, but luckily just the ding denied the points. So up high, a stun coming on through. It's Citizen. He'll take a deep mail slot shot. That's going to be off, however, and there's the stacks coming in from Nitro. So Brennan getting underway here with the disc now. It's the Law losing it to Brennan. The time just winding it down, though, and the second round is going to go to Nay Plus Ultra, and ultimately the sweep over here will be Zux. One more dunk move just from the bottom of the feet, which is typically where feet will be. That's how it works. But yes. Scoring there now, 14-6. No more time on the clock.
7, 6, 5.
And it will be ending 14-6 in that sweep. And it's a shame, too, because Nitro played so well. And you got to figure just the what-ifs.
Blue walks away with the W.
You know, what if they had their fourth? That could have very much been Nitro's round to take. I mean, they were playing so well. So definitely some missed opportunities there, perhaps through no fault of their own, depending on what the exact issues were. And yeah, that will be the victory. So going to the score screen, highlights there. We'll take a look at what we've got at least. And it was, in that round, minding you, there was a restart, so the stats did get wiped. But from what we've got, it's 8 points to Zux as well as 1 assist. We have 2 to Citizen and 1 assist as well as a save and 9 stuns. For Sir Dimwee, it was 2 points and 4 stuns. And then Brennan with 1 assist and 14 stuns. Over on Nitro's end was the Law with 2 points, 1 assist, 1 steal, 10 stuns. Citrus with 1 assist, 1 steal, 6 stuns. And then some Joe Schmo with 2 points, 1 save, 10 stuns, and about 200 memes in the chat. So filling up that stat line as well. Jar of Salt with a highlight, asking if I can give you a oh yeah, no, I cannot. Won't be doing that today. If I did, I would fire myself. But nonetheless, thanks for the input. and their request. I'll take it into consideration for next time. Just scrolling up, seeing if there's anything I missed here. Let's see. This caster must be an A+ Ultra shill, says Koopy Poopy. Well, no, not so much. I'm a shill for every team. My only stakes in these races are the closest games possible, which is why every time we get a stream, I'm always cheering for the round 3 no matter what. But full credit to every team for every highlight play they provide, and definitely Nitro had a lot of them. In fact, like I was saying just a moment ago, round 2 really was theirs. I think just momentum-wise, they were putting on some really good moves being down a player. Let's see. Anything else that I had missed somewhere there in the chat? Quote in TV saying, I want to be a sub on a team. Yeah, you definitely, you can be a league sub, which is just kind of, you know, you can sub for any team. Sort of. There's a substitute MMR thing at works, but nonetheless, there you can register as a league sub, or teams can also have 6 players on the roster, so you can have kind of alternates, basically. There are several teams in the league that do actually have 5 or 6 players on their rosters for those purposes. So you can also do that. Not Lucario saying, I find myself much more tired after playing Echo than Beat Saber. You know, yeah, they're both super tiring for different reasons, I suppose. Echo definitely, especially when you're talking high-level scrims. I mean, you're moving your full body constantly and for hours at a time. It's definitely a good workout. You know, you're especially at the high level. I know when you're just starting out, like a lot of players who are joining us for the streams and for the quest beta might not be familiar with, but incorporating things like ducks and jumps, and you know, you're really putting just every ounce of energy you can at times into pushing those margins, especially in terms of like regrabs and getting the speed together. And when it comes to the rock, paper, scissors game of the brawls, it's really a physically intensive game, which is why if you look at especially like the real life, you know, LAN tournaments that Echo's had in the past, you'll see the players by the end of the games and the interviews, you'll see them sweating, dripping some sweat. You know, I'm telling you, VR players, this is kind of the perfect mix of geekdom and being jocks. I don't know. I love it. VR esport gamers, athletes, what have you, a nice mix between the two. I think Echo is just a great mix between being a traditional sport, like in real life, and an esport. Beautiful marriage indeed. Ender with some random garbled stuff in a highlighted message. Cool. Firegold saying, on the other hand, I have to limit my movement thanks to the lockdown because you have wife and kid around you in the living room. Yeah, that's also definitely a factor. What a lot of players will do, the experienced players, necessitates getting a mat, like a 4x4 or 2x2 play space mat on your feet so that you can always be aware of where you are. I know you have the Guardian system and things like that, which is helpful. But especially for Echo, it's good just having that tactile feedback on your feet, so you always know that you're not straying too far away, or presumably won't be in danger of maybe hitting someone sitting on a couch nearby or something like that. Yes. Lucario saying, not hugely experienced with Echo at the moment, but I'd really like to at least attempt to get into a competitive scene in the future. Oh, perfect. I'm glad you said that, because now it gives me a... Talk about whoever it was who said I was a shill for an A+ Ultra. Now's my chance to shill VRML a little bit. But in seriousness. All right, so on that note, for VR Master League, the way it works is it's a flexible system in terms of scheduling and the matches you actually get. The more variety you have and experience level, the better. Because when you get a team, you'll play, you know, your first several matches are essentially placement matches of sorts, and you do get a team MMR. As you can see here on this score screen right now, you can see the 1150 MMR for Nitro. You have 1180 MMR for an A+ Ultra. And so when you get your matches each week, and you get 2 of them, by the way, every Monday, you'll get paired against teams that are... It prioritizes placing you against teams that are within your relative skill zone, your MMR tier. It also tries to prioritize, you know, not playing the same team back-to-back weeks and such, so there will be some variance here and there, as it does try to get some variety. But yeah, ultimately, if you're a brand new team, you're going to be playing with other brand new teams after your initial placement matches at the very least. So whether you're a seasoned veteran or completely new, you can definitely get into the league. Currently in Europe, there's somewhere along the lines of, I think, 11, 12 active teams. For North America, there's over 30 active teams. So across both regions, I mean, we're looking at 40 plus with somewhere over 250 participants in Season 1 overall, including substitutes and alternate players on rosters, things like that. I mean, there's a lot of activity, and at every level, especially here in North America, for the moment, I mean, there's a lot of teams who haven't gotten a lot of competitive experience, and yet they're still getting some good matches every week. So don't shy away from registering. The more the merrier. And we do have our championships coming up in a few weeks as well. And for the champions of Season 1, they'll get, between the two regions combined, about $1,000 worth of goodies their way. All right, Coden asking, what's the next team or what's the next match, I imagine you're asking there. We have one more on the day, but it's not for another hour or so. Let's see, right there, Mirage, who is actually one of the newer teams I talked about to the league, haven't done competitive play before. They'll, in fact, be playing against There Is No Team, who is a team with plenty of competitive experience, or playtime experience. I mean, two of their players, former finalists at LANs. Two of their players are actually ready at Dawn Developers. You have a Rad David N is playing on There Is No Team. And you might recognize him, for a lot of you, from the Discord. He's very, very active there. And not sure if he's playing tonight or not, as There Is No Team does have 5 rostered members. But yeah, that might be a fun one to watch as well. That's at 7:15 Mountain Time, which is to say 9:15 Central Time, which is to say not for another hour and 30 minutes approximately. Yeah, and they're saying preseason champs got nothing, Palidore. Can you believe that? I don't know. Didn't you get some stuff? Or talking about the badges. Hey, just be glad you got badges. You're talking to me here. you're talking to me. I'm not getting badges. I won 2 championships before. I'm not getting anything, so if I can deal with it, so can you. But anyway, yes, so with that said, I'm just glad we're getting more of those badges involved to increase the incentive. I know people really like their customizables, so hey. Lucario saying, I'm mainly waiting on the full release for Quest since I feel the wireless feature is a huge advantage in my opinion. Also fair. It definitely, it's kind of hit or miss. I think if you ask a lot of the experienced Echo players, there is a bit of muscle memory, and it kind of becomes a sixth sense dealing with the PC cable. So I think like over time, it doesn't really affect play all too much. However, there's still the tangling factor. No matter how much of a cable sixth sense you get, tangles are still a thing, and you still have to kind of undo it, at regular intervals, unless you're good about actively compensating in matches. Not to mention, obviously, the sensor setups if you're using CV1, or just the big PC setups you still have to do with the S. So, there's definitely benefits to both platforms, but of course, talking about a super physical game like Echo, and also one that you want to show off to your friends and things like that, the Quest version will be fantastic for keeping 100% untangled all of the time and being able to bring it into a variety of avenues without needing to drag your PC to said places. So a lot of good stuff there. And Kung asking about, oh, I see, responding to Fire Gold, saying right now Quest players would only be able to play Quest players. Yeah, that's correct, although in the fairly imminent future, there will be crossplay enabled in the closed beta. Don't know when exactly, but that's sometime in the near future. And especially by release, will be Quest players playing with PC players and vice versa, all intermingled nicely. Yes, Kung saying soon, TM. Maybe that should probably be one of the emotes here, sub-emotes, I don't know. And Lucario pointing out the cable tangling. Yeah, absolutely. It's a thing. A lot of us know for sure. And Rocktor saying, Pally, you should stream on your own personal Twitch. Well, wait, you mean like a face cam stream so you can see me losing my head at certain plays? Why not just combine the both of them? I don't know. No, actually, no. I just kidding. Wouldn't do that. Might consider a green screen thing for finals, not for the gameplay portion, but like for the intermissions and stuff. Maybe doing like a virtual caster's booth or something. That'd be cool. But yes, I know. I'm kind of rambling here as if this was my personal Twitch stream, but I figured we have a ton of new viewers. I mean, again, we had 40 plus. Even in the European game earlier, we had close to 30 at some point, and a lot of new faces that I've not seen on these streams before, so I can only assume it's all the Quest version hype. Therefore, trying to be a proper representative of Echo and all that good stuff, because yeah, we love to see all the increased activity. It's a game that's lasted almost 3 years now, 3-year anniversary coming up in July, and it's held strong through multiple years, multiple seasons, multiple teams and rosters. And it's only continuing to grow in 2020. So, yeah. But appreciate that, Rocktor. Perhaps one day. I was talking about doing an egg drop soup cooking stream in the near future. By somewhat popular request, I'm pretending. Anyway, we'll see. But alright, I think that about covers it until the next stream that is. So, for everyone there in the Twitch chat who commented, asked questions, and hyped up Joe Schmo. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Hopefully you'll be around for the next match in another hour and 20 minutes. Hour and 20 minutes from now at 7:15 Mountain Time, 9:15 Central. But until then, I've been Palidore. This has been VR Master League. This is our final week of the regular season, week 12. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you hopefully again real soon.